Origin Code Academy. Our job is to get you one.
Welcome, I'm Jeff Winkler, the CEO and founder of Origin Code Academy, and today we have Matt Irving with SystemGo IT, and he is the founder and CEO over there. Thanks for coming in today, Matt.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so can you take us a little bit through what it was like when you started your development career, or how that occurred either organically or by chance?
So when I started my career, my dad is a developer, my brother is an electrical engineer, did a lot of firmware developing, and I went down a different road early on, construction. And so when I knew a little bit later in life that I was going to become a programmer, I just dove straight in. I got educated, went to school, and just put all my free time into code, sucking up as much knowledge as I could, just working as hard as I could at increasing my skill set. So when I first started out, as early 2000s, late 90s, and the internet was the new thing, so I was able to be like the web guy whenever I went somewhere,
Sure.
Taking everyone from some sort of COBOL or Visual Basic system to internet programming, and so it was a really great time for me. It's kind of like the Wild West of doing what I wanted in the code world.
Can you take me through the mental process of today I'm working construction to now I think I want to get into software development?
It was really one of those things where I knew I wanted to do more in life, kind of felt I was meant for more in life than to, we'd say, get paid from the neck down, right? Just driving in circles, moving dirt around, sucking in diesel and dirt. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I wanted more. I wanted to use my brain to bring new things to the world to benefit society in a sense, right? And so I realized that I had an aptitude for it. I love logic. I love all the things that people say it takes to be a good programmer. Math, logic, thinking through puzzles, that kind of thing, wanting to solve problems. And so it was just a real natural fit for me to make that decision.
Okay. And once you started your first job, how did you get or convince someone that you were the web guy the first time?
So, one part of my history is the fact that, I quit my job cold turkey, went to school with very little experience, but for my time in school, I took an extremely low-paying internship, and I did nothing but focus on increasing my skills. So when I went out for my first interview right after I graduated college, it was, I brought in an old tower, a big old thing. I didn't have a laptop. I asked to borrow a monitor, and I just showed him my code and just showed him some things I've done. I started all these pet projects I had, and I just really showed him, like, I'm passionate, and I've got some things to show. They're not the most amazing things, but they work, and I was able to show them that I had that experience versus just saying, I've got a degree that says I can do this.
What do you feel like separates junior developers during the interview process?
So what I'm looking for in a junior developer is someone who can show me that they can learn, that there's nothing they can't do. I don't want to have someone who's going to come to me with every problem every second. I don't expect you to know everything. I expect you to know how to Google.
So your journey was junior developer to CEO. Can you talk a little bit about how you were intentional throughout your career on always getting better?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing I'm really passionate about. I just basically did the 2 years type of career move. Everything I'm doing, I'm leaving a job I love for a job that gives me better experience. I'm taking a job that's I'm really comfortable at with great vacation and benefits, and taking this job because it's a bigger challenge and I get to broaden my horizons.
When our students go out and apply for their first job, usually they have 60-70% of the skills on a particular job rec. How do you overcome? Would you personally recommend them apply to that job, or a lot of them are kind of scared because they don't have those additional skills that are required for that job? So what's kind of your recommendation in that scenario?
So yeah, I definitely recommend they apply for that job, especially if it's something they are specifically looking to do and they want to do. Like, this is exactly the kind of field I want to do, kind of programming I do. I'm not qualified. Absolutely apply for it, because you're not interviewing tomorrow. You have 2 weeks, a week, 3 weeks to really start learning. Go to Pluralsight, start reading up on it, learn that technologies.
One of the things I want to dive into next is your company specifically. So what business need did you see in the market before you started your company that you're filling now?
Our business has two focuses. One's IT services, one's that software development side. And on the IT services, we go in and we're like, we are your IT department. You want help desk calls, that's us. You call us, we support you, take great care of you. Whether it's printing, Wi-Fi, new systems, server maintenance, 24/7 support, backups, all that great stuff. We take all that burden of IT on for them. And that is kind of, there's companies that do it, but that's like a black spot. Like, I don't want to hire someone, I don't even know how to interview for that position. I don't know what I need if this guy's taking care of us. So we bring that expertise to the table. Same thing with the web and software side. Obviously, when you become that trusted entity that people know, I need a project done, I need the back office integration, I need some sort of EDI system or some custom business line of business app solution we want. It's like, okay, this is a company who can take care of that for us. And being that trusted partner we don't sell code, we sell solutions. We sell business performance improvement. And that's the best part of what we do. We really help people improve what they do and how they operate through software, through technology.
In terms of when you go out and work with small businesses, what makes a client a good fit for SystemGo IT?
So it's clients who understand that there's more they can do. Technology is evolving and changing. A client who has a mindset of this is how we do things, how we always do it, just kind of sweep the floors and keep the technology running. Like, we can work with them, we can keep them stable. But what's really a good fit for us, someone who says, look, I know that if I have my guys in the field on a tablet and they're doing this rather than filling out forms and they can't come to the office, is that a 2 or is that a 7? Job errors happen, or hey, we just always have to remote into this computer in the office because that's the way we've always done things. They're not open to technological improvements. I mean, that's what we bring.
Did you always have the goal of becoming a CEO and having your own company, or was that something that evolved?
I always had that goal. I didn't go to college right away out of high school. It was 6, 7 years later, and because I didn't want to be anything. Every time I try and enroll for college, which I did a couple of times, it's like undecided, undeclared, because all I want to do is run a company. I want to own my own business. And I just knew that I was very entrepreneurial at heart. I just never really did that until my kids got a little older and financial stability allowed me to take that leap of faith.
What's the biggest transition from going to employee in technical world to running your own company that you had to kind of teach yourself?
That coding is fun. Honestly, coding is great when you get lost in a project or in a module. If you're learning, especially early in your career and just sucking up knowledge, you can put 12, 14 hours away without thinking about it. And it's very engaging. The business side of it is not as engaging. If you're worrying about general ledger stuff and how to properly do this for tax purposes and making sure bills are paid, and then marketing, those business running side of things is not nearly as enjoyable as coding all day long. So making that transition to fact, and another big transition was the fact that I'm not the code guru. I'm not the IT guru. It's not my job to make sure everyone does it the way, it's my job to make sure they do it the way I want it done, but it's not my job to do it anymore. I've got to release that control. I can't just, elbow them out of the way and say, let me just do that for you. All that still might happen, right? It's generally like, hey, I've got great people, trust them, let them run.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining us today, and I specifically want to thank Matt Irving from SystemGo IT. Thanks for coming in today. I appreciate it, Matt.
Thanks for having me. It was a great time.